Hey friend, do you have a mentor in your music career? Someone that's ahead of you and where you want to be that you can look up to or that you can reach out to and ask questions? Someone that can help you fast track your success in your music career? Someone that you've developed a actual personal relationship with where they can teach and you can learn? Well, if you haven't, maybe you're wondering about how that type of connection actually even happens and how you can find someone like that. Well, today I want to share with you a personal story of how it happened for me. I want to tell you a little bit about how I met one of my mentors and one of the people who's been most influential in my life and me being able to have a successful career in music. So today I'm going to share with you a clip. This is from a brand new podcast called the Alex and Andrew Podcast. You might recognize my co-host Andrew from his channel Producing in the Box, and we went really deep on this discussion, but in particular today I want to share with you this clip of me telling my story. If you enjoy it, feel free to check out the podcast. The link will be in the description. Otherwise, let's dive in. Let me take you back to 2017, 2018 era. Okay?
It was a good year.
I was studying audio in an audio program, and there's one mentor specifically that I'm going to talk about today. You know, I've had different mentors in the form of, audiobooks and podcasts and stuff, but there's also specific people in my life that have really helped me make realizations about music and audio and how I can approach this. And one of those people I met in 2017 when they came to guest lecture at my audio school program that I was studying in at the time. And so this is the thing. This is the importance of, like, it doesn't matter if you go to audio school. Like, probably most of you listening are not in audio school. But if there's an opportunity to network, or there's a networking event in your city or something, and you can get around people who are successful in the thing that you want to do, like, and there's an opportunity to meet them, like, that's when these things can unfold. And so I show up to class, and this gentleman comes in, and he is just like, he's on a whole other level. Like, he's vibrating at a high vibration, meaning like his energy is like super up there, super positive, just like he's radiating like knowledge, positivity, like all the things that I wanted to be and all the things that like I was striving for. It's like I finally, like, I genuinely aligned with this guy's message. And I had seen a few other speakers come in, and this mentor of mine in particular was a composer of music. He had composed television for television series, over 800 episodes of like 30 different television series. He had made a full-time income of, had found a way to generate royalties of the music he composed. He had that totally figured out. Like, his life was basically running on passive income from royalties that he had made from music. And he came in wearing a very nice suit. He was one of the most smartest people I'd ever met. And I said, okay, this guy knows what's up. I gotta learn from him. And so from there, he spoke. I took as much as I could in. I took as many notes as I could. And I think I had maybe crossed paths with him once before, but it was only like just a different event in the city, and kind of bumped into each other and said, hey, very briefly. So it didn't really count. But I had already, like, he had maybe seen my face before once. So the lecture stops. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, at the time I was very into music composition, and I knew that this was the guy that could teach me how to turn it into a career, for example, or at least just like get me started and get me like down the, just get the ball rolling for me in a way that I couldn't figure out how to do on my own. And all it took for me to, gain this amazing person in my life as a mentor was just to kind of have the guts to say hi afterwards and show that I care. And what happened was, after his lecture was done, he stayed around, spoke with a couple students, and I listened to what he had to say afterwards, standing around in the lecture hall. But he then left and, was outside getting ready to leave, for example. And that's when I jumped in. Like, I saw he was alone for a second, and I said, hey, are you going to be around for a couple more minutes? Can I buy you a cup of coffee, for example? And he said, actually, my brother is a professor here at this college, and I'm going to be meeting him in like a half hour. So I'm actually just waiting around until his class is done, and then I'm going to meet with him. So I'm just chilling. Like, sure, you can buy me a cup of coffee, and yeah, we'll talk for a few minutes. And we ended up sitting down for something like 45 minutes, one-on-one.
Oh, wow.
And just like, what I was able to do is like I paid very close attention when he spoke. I took a lot of notes, and it was all fresh in my mind, so I could ask him very direct questions, like showing that I paid attention, like word for word to what he had to say in his presentation. And I asked him about those things. I was genuinely just interested in him, and this is a very giving a person that's very giving and gives back, and he was really generous with the information he shared with me, and I was very eager to learn and very just like wanting to know everything, but also just show that I was like more engaged in general. And what basically the way the conversation went, he's like, look, okay, at the end of the conversation, he's like, look, if you're serious about this thing, I'm going to give you a list of books. And if you're serious, I hope you'll consider reading the books. And he sent me a PDF. He emailed me a PDF, and on this PDF was literally titled like his book list, and it had categories. It had music, creativity, finance, like spiritual kind of things, like self-help things, and there were whole different categories, and each category had like 10, 20 books under it that he highly recommended. And, he had name dropped a few of the books to me, and I said, great, like, absolutely. I'd love to look at your book list. And I received his book list in the email, and the next day I went out and bought 3 or 4 of the books, and I powered through them as quickly as I could. And, a couple of weeks later, I sent a message back to him, and I said, hey, I read some of the books. Would I be able to ask you a couple of questions about some of the books? And we connected again, I think probably via phone or something of that sort. And he said 99.9% of people that I give the book list to just kind of take the list, and I don't hear from them again, and they don't read the books. You read the books. I think you're the type of person that I could take on as like a little bit of a mentee. And he didn't say it like that, but it was more of an indirect thing, like, hey Alex, like if you care this much, like I'm happy to help you. Nobody reads the books, and you read the books. So it's about like doing that extra step. And I know that I've carried the story out a little bit too long, but I want to give the context of like, if you genuinely show someone you're interested, and if they give you an action step, it's your time to demonstrate. It's like your little test. Every time that a mentor comes across a mentee, like let's say like Yoda finds Luke Skywalker, right? Luke Skywalker ends up on what is the planet called? Like Dagdagoba or something. It's like,
oh boy, we're gonna get roasted in the comments. I don't know,
man. I'm a Lord of the Rings guy, but I try for Star Wars too. This is the way.
This is the way.
Right? So Luke ends up on Yoda's planet, and Yoda has all sorts of little tests for him, right? Just before even taking him on as a student, right? He gives him all these little tests, and even then Yoda's like, he's not ready. But eventually, Yoda sees the potential in him. And if your potential mentor has a little test for you, like says, hey kid, edit the, okay, you want to learn how to mix? Like, could you edit this vocal track and send it back? Like, if that's something that happens, like take the test,
do it
and execute it. For me, it was read these books about music, about creativity. And, I didn't have to do anything super crazy. I didn't need to read like a million books. I just had to get some books, read through them a little bit, learn the messages, be genuinely curious, and be like, hey, like, I want to continue learning, Yep. And from there, it's kind of one of those the rest is history things. But this mentor turned into someone that, even until now, for the last 6 years, has been one of the most important people in my lives for helping direct me and show me the way. And that an alternative kind of unnormal. The main thing that he inspired me with was that an unorthodox life where you build a life on your own terms, like, you build a life doing what you love, it is possible. And not only is it possible, but you can thrive. Like, this is a mentor who is extremely successful in this field. Like, financially, very, very successful, in terms of the success of the music and getting the music heard and out there and in front of lots of ears. Like, this was someone that I really looked up to in this way. And that when the things aligned and I felt I really want to learn from this person, I did everything I could to show that I cared. And one of those was reading the books. And from there, over the last 6 years, this guy has become one of the most important people in my life in terms of inspiring me to do and build a career in a field that a lot of people told me, oh, music, you're doing the music thing, make sure you have a plan B. This guy showed me that it's possible to do it. And I was so inspired, and I actually turned it from a thought, a dream, a vision into a reality, Like, if someone can show you the way and show you that it's possible, like, the sky's the limit, and we all need that inspiration. So that's my kind of story about how I met my mentor. It's not crazy. It's not complicated. It started with offering to buy someone a coffee and just listening. And when the mentor test was given, I showed up for it, And so this doesn't mean like go try and like network and meet someone and buy them coffee. But what it means is like, when the thing happens, and if you put it out there into the universe that you're looking for a mentor, something will happen. Like, the universe will, or whatever, like, some door will open, some opportunity. Some mentor will be standing there in the hallway, looking at his watch, and you'll think, maybe I can jump in here for a second. And then you find out there's an extra 30 minutes that he had in his time to give to you, which turns into 6 years of valuable knowledge. And even further than that, like friendship and someone that you can genuinely have in your life, where then you can find ways to help them and in exchange in the future for everything that they've done for you. There you have it, my friend. That's how I met one of my mentors. And you can probably guess the impact a mentor can have. It can be pretty substantial. So go check out the rest of that episode, and you will find out all about how to actually reach out to a mentor, the action steps to make it happen, how you can find them even if you're running your whole music career online, and so much more.